Hi Reddit, I'm Amy. I'm 19 years old and I'm going into my second year of university. I am a medical student at UCL and I also create content on the side. Welcome to my Ask Me Anything, where I'm going to be giving you some insight and some tips on things I wish I knew before I went to university to make you feel more confident before you start. This is a partnership with Nationwide as part of their FlexStudent campaign. And please note that I'm not giving strict financial advice, but some tips that I wish I knew before I started university. Thank you so much for all your questions today. I've received lots and I'm very excited to give you some insight onto things I wish I knew. So, yeah, let's dive into the questions. Okay, someone asked, can you still have a good social life at uni without spending loads? 100%. I honestly do not think you have to spend a lot of money to have a good social life. There are so many free activities you can do, whether that's just walking around parks in uni. There are lots of museums which are also free. Also love a market or even a bit of window shopping. You can go shopping with your friends and not actually have to buy anything. Sometimes I go shopping with my friends, take a photo of the clothes that I really like, and then I put up my Christmas wish list. Even if it's a few months in advance, I'm like, okay, that's what I'm asking for Christmas. So even on a shopping day out where you don't have to spend money. In terms of social life, yeah, just going on walks with your friends, me and my friends would go sit on Notting Hill or Primrose Hill, and that's London, but for your city, go find a cute little spot to watch the sunset. And I just don't think you have to spend loads of money. There are definitely friendly ways. There are definitely ways where you don't have to spend money. And also remember that everyone at uni is on a budget. No one has unlimited amounts of money. So it's not like everyone's going to be constantly going out spending loads. Everyone's sort of on the same page as you. So you'll definitely find people that aren't wanting to spend lots of money as they go out as well. Okay. Someone said, did anyone actually make a budget before uni and manage to stick to it? Or did it go out the window pretty quickly? If I'm honest, I didn't really discuss money too much with my friends that I made at uni. But personally, speaking from my own advice, I did make a budget before I went to uni. And in the first few weeks of freshers, I think I did go over a little bit because, as I said, there are a lot of unexpected hidden costs that I didn't budget for. But then when I got into more routine and I was expecting or anticipating groceries were going to be this amount and I was going to spend this much amount on nights out a week. My Wednesday night outs were this amount, and I wanted to spend this much on shopping a week, etc. Then I was able to stick to my budgeting, especially more in second term and in third term as well. When I was more in exam season, a lot less going out. But yeah, I think in the first few weeks, if it does go a little bit out the window, don't get too overwhelmed. Don't get too stressed about it because I think it's very easy to happen. As I said, you're living in a new city, you're living by yourself, you're making new friends. It is a very different change of scenery as you're going into uni. So if you go a bit over your budget, it's not the end of the world. Don't get super stressed about it. Just know, okay, I've gone over my budget this week. Maybe next week I will not spend as much money on things I don't need to. Maybe next week I'm not going to buy a coffee out because I went a bit over my budget the previous week, and then you'll just get back into it. But honestly, everyone's learning. This is probably your first time you're hardcore budgeting, so don't stress too much if it goes a little bit out the window. So when I opened up the FlexStudent bank account with Nationwide last year, I was eligible for the Just Eat vouchers. So I received £10 of Just Eat vouchers every month. And that can go towards groceries as well, if you want to budget that towards groceries. But also that can go towards a cheeky little takeaway if you need to. Love your content, girl. Thanks. How do you manage content creation and medical school? Any tips on feeling confident in your content when you're getting started? And how do you come across natural on camera, please? So I'll start with the first one. First of all, thank you very much for saying you love my content. I very much appreciate that. It's very kind. How do you manage content creation and medical school? I do think balancing university, whether you're doing medicine or whatever degree you're doing, and any other hobby is hard. It's very difficult to find the right balance, especially when you're starting uni. You're living in a different city, your parents aren't cooking for you anymore if they did. And sometimes it's hard to find your feet and get used to a complete different routine. So definitely don't be too harsh on yourself when you first start university. But for me, being organised with my time definitely really helps. So I use Notion. But whether you want to use Google Calendar or your notes app, whatever works for you, I think planning your weeks alongside your timetable and extracurriculars you have or nights out you have planned, and planning your week and planning your days can definitely help. And then when you get to the end of the day, you can tick off what you've done, what you haven't done, what do I need to do tomorrow instead, and then you can make sure by the end of the week you've got everything done that you need to do. So definitely time management. But as I said, don't be too harsh on yourself in the first few weeks of uni. I think that will definitely come the more you try. And also habit stacking. So I think I read a book about this a while ago, but this might sound a bit OTT, but sometimes, say it's during exams, I'm a bit stressed and I'm limited on time. I'll try to do two things like similar timing. So, for example, sometimes I'll go to the gym and at the end of the workout, I'll be walking on the treadmill and then I'll edit some content like a little TikTok whilst I'm on the treadmill. So I'm sort of, getting in my workout, but also editing. So sometimes that can help as well, save some time. Second part of the question, any tips on feeling confident in your content when you're getting started? I really would say fake it till you make it. I think you definitely, if you're starting content, want to come off as yourself. I think you want your personality to shine through. I don't think you want to be copying someone else's style completely. Like, your personality and who you are is super important when creating content, and that is what people love. But I do get, like, it's super weird talking to a camera, and especially if you've never done it before. Even now, after 5-6 years of making content, like, if you saw the raw footage of my camera, I'm still going, or I repeat the same things, and it's so normal. Like, you're not a robot that's just spitting it out. So it's definitely hard, and speaking to a camera is not a normal feeling, but the more you practice, the more you'll get used to it. I think when you're starting out, just fake it till you make it. Also, I know I'm waffling, but remember, you are editing your own content. So if there's something you don't like, you can just remove something you're not a fan of, and just be as confident and as yourself as possible, and that's what people will love. And the third part of the question, how do you come across natural on camera, please? I think I sort of covered that in the last bit. Just really try to be yourself. Don't try to copy someone else's like accent, style. Just really show your true personality without being too cringe. And as I said, you're editing yourself, so say there's a part that you're not a big fan of, you can just take it out. So yeah, just be yourself on camera as much as possible. And I know it might feel a bit awkward, but over time, you'll definitely get used to it. Okay, moving on to the next question. What purchase genuinely improved your student life? This is silly when I think about it, but I love my air fryer. It's so good. Like, I think I cook 70% of my meals in my air fryer. Like, whether it's just a chicken breast in the air fryer, it's so good. Makes washing up a lot easier as well, because I just put in like the parchment paper in the air fryer and then chuck that in the bin afterwards. So absolutely adore my air fryer. And also a good pair of noise cancelling headphones, because sometimes when I study, I'll go into like this social space with my friends, but then they're talking so much and I'm like, right, I should probably lock in now and get on with my work. So having a good pair of noise cancelling headphones, I think, is a good purchase, because then you can be like, okay, turning the conversation off and I'm going to start working now. So I definitely think if you have a good pair, or if you don't, it might be worth investing in. Okay. Someone asked, what ends up costing more than you expected? Food, travel, rent, nights out, or course stuff? I definitely say travel ends up being more expensive than I expected. I think when I've come to London before, I would like tap away on my phone through the tubes, not really looking at how much it costs. But when you actually live here, you're like, wait, this does add up, especially when you're going in during peak times. Like, it does get expensive, it does add up. Ways I'd combat this would just be to walk as much as you can. Honestly, it gives you a chance to explore the beautiful city you live in. And also, I'd walk with a friend, gives you a little opportunity to have a good old chin wag before you go into uni. Food can definitely be more expensive than you think if you're buying meals out. Like, especially in the first few weeks, I would go out and buy lunch most days just because that's what my friends were doing, which is very fair enough, especially in the first few weeks. But I think once you settle into more of a routine, meal prepping lunches, I know something I would do would, you can just buy like a big pack of chicken breasts, and I'd cook them all together and then make chicken wraps. And that was a classic for me. Like, my friends know that was a classic. I'd meal prep that and then keep 2 or 3 in my fridge for lunches that week. So once you do get into a routine, bringing in food and lunches and also snacks, because sometimes snacks out are so expensive and I always get peckish, especially during uni lectures. So bringing in your own snacks can definitely be a big lifesaver. Nights out can be more expensive than you think, especially if you've had a few drinks and you're like, oh, I'm going to pay for this. Something I would definitely allocate is a certain amount you're going to be spending that night, and then you don't go over that. So maybe putting that amount into your bank account and then not spending any more than that can definitely help for nights out. But yeah, I think everything can be a bit more expensive than you expect initially. But as I said, once you get into that routine and you figure out, okay, this is probably how much this is going to be, and this is how much I'd like to spend on that, then as you get into more of a routine, everything will feel a bit more easier and your budgeting will hopefully go more to plan after freshers. Well, for me, it did anyways. Hopefully your budgeting goes to plan as soon as you start uni. But for me, the more I got into routine, the better. Okay, the next question I got asked was best uni meal to make on the cheap. So I was self-catered, and if you're not self-catered, you have to worry about this. But meals I loved making, tuna pasta was such a go-to. Like pasta takes what, 10 minutes to boil. And I'd sometimes add veggies into this. So I'd literally just put in like broccoli into the pasta water, so it's one pan. Or even like peas and sweet corn, like I'd buy a frozen bag of peas and sweet corn, chuck that in there, add in a tin of tuna, and then I don't know if this is great, but sometimes just pesto. Like I just put pesto in there. Or I do the exact same with chicken breasts. Cook the chicken breast in my air fryer, my beloved air fryer. Or I do the same with rice. Rice is also really easy, and I just chuck that in there with some pesto. Or like if it was rice, I'd often do like soy sauce and sriracha. But like one pot meals like that. Oh, another one I love whilst I'm on about it is fajitas. I love a leaky, like cheeky little chicken fajita. Do like one little frying pan, so you can get like a fajita spice mix, some red and yellow peppers and a wrap. That was always super easy and didn't do too much washing up. But I would always go onto TikTok and look up easy meals, but definitely pasta, rice, wraps. They're all super easy to do. Something else that I was really helpful in freshers though, when I wasn't too wanting to like make my lunches every day, is that I was eligible for the nationwide FlexStudent, like £100 cash when I first opened my bank account, my student bank account with Nationwide. So that was really handy initially when I started uni, because I think in freshers you can spend a bit more money. So that was really nice as well. What part-time jobs have you done or your friends have done that you recommend to upcoming med students at UCL? So I do content creation, and that has been my main source of income whilst I'm at university. But other jobs that my friends have done, so for med students in particular, because of what the question asks, one of my med student friends is tutoring for other med students in year 12 and year 13. You can also like interview tutoring, because obviously for med school you have interviews, or UCAT tutoring if you feel confident enough to do that. But even if you're not a med student, other jobs you could definitely do. So some of my friends work at the student union bars or student union cafes, which I think is a good source of income. Also, some of my friends work just doing hospitality. So whether that's being a waitress or serving people. And I think they've got that via an agency at university. So I think a lot of universities are quite good in giving students opportunities for jobs. And finally, if you want to be a bit more flexible with your working hours, honestly, me included, and some of my friends have made really good money selling clothes on Vinted. So if you do have any clothes, like say old sixth form clothes or old college clothes that you don't want to bring to uni, like selling them on Vinted could be a really good way to make money, even in your summer before you start uni or when you get to uni. Either or, I think would be good part-time jobs. Okay, what purchase did you regret most? I think before I joined uni, I was like, oh my God, I need so many clothes because everyone's going to have so many cool going outfits and I want to look really cool. I want all my outfits to be really cool. I want to go into uni being super stylish. But realistically, like you do end up wearing the same clothes quite often. You end up wearing the same pair of jeans that are comfy, the same basic top. So I'd definitely say get your basics because I rewear them a lot, but you don't need a million going out tops. And even when I got to uni, my wardrobe wasn't that big because I was staying in halls. So even if I did have a million going out tops, like it's probably a bit unnecessary. And if you get to uni and you're like, oh, I wish I'd bought more going out tops, you always can when you get there. And you can make a day trip out of it, you know, with friends you just met being like, oh, do you want to go shopping and get some tops type thing. So I wouldn't buy too many clothes before you start. Just have your essentials. And I think that'd be good. So someone asked, were you paid by Nationwide to do this? And yes, Nationwide paid me my regular content creation rates for this. But I have been with Nationwide for like 3 years now. Like since I opened up a bank account, I've been with Nationwide. And last year as well, I opened up a FlexStudent bank account with Nationwide. Someone said, oh my God, I love your study with me's. Thank you. Especially when I was doing my GCSEs. Anyways, I firmed KCL. Love that for you. Well done. So I'd appreciate your most important tips of budgeting whilst living in London. Thanks, girl. So this can be applicable for everywhere, but obviously I appreciate that London can be more expensive than other cities. I'd definitely say walking rather than getting the tube if you can. I get it, you wake up late sometimes, you need to get the tube to make the lecture on time, fair enough. But if you do have time to walk somewhere, definitely think you can save some money when walking. Also, making your own lunches, as I said, when you can, make your own lunches to bring into uni. Another thing is, I think it's really easy in London when there are like a million different beautiful coffee shops that you're walking through London. Really try not to buy out a coffee every day because I think especially in the first few weeks of uni, I was like, oh, this looks like an amazing coffee, or like an amazing matcha place. And I get to the end of the week and I'm like, oh my God, I've spent 20, £25 on coffees and matchas, which I just didn't need to, like at all. So maybe buy yourself a coffee or a matcha as like a little treat, but not a regular thing. And if you're a gym girl or you want to get into the gym or you want to do exercise when you're at gym, the uni gyms are usually a lot cheaper than some like bougie London gym. So I definitely look into your uni gyms as well as another tip for budgeting when it comes to London. So someone asked, is an overdraft a good idea? So in year one, I was actually quite good with my budgeting and I didn't need to go into my arranged overdraft. But it was really nice having the peace of mind that with the FlexStudent account in year one, you have an arranged overdraft interest free for £1,000. And in year three, it could go up to £3,000. So if anything unexpected did happen, it was very reassuring to have that. Okay, someone said, what's the fastest land animal? Um, I am like pretty sure it's a cheetah. I think someone must be testing my knowledge. I am pretty sure it's a cheetah. We don't cover this in our med course. So I think it's a cheetah, but correct me if I'm wrong. It could be something else. I reckon it could be something that I'm just not expecting. But I feel like I'd always be like, oh, quick like a cheetah, you know? Okay. How would you recommend making a student loan last the whole term? I think it can be really overwhelming when you just get your student loan and you have this large sum of money in your bank account that perhaps you're not used to. So my biggest recommendation would be to split this up into monthly and weekly amounts so you can see how this is going to last you till the end of the term. Otherwise, it's like, wow, I have all this money in my bank account. I'm going to go buy this drinks. I'm going to buy all these freshest tickets because you see this large amount of money. But you actually do need to make this last till the end of the term. So definitely split this up into weekly and monthly amounts so you can, again, budget and see how much you have to spend in different categories. Someone else has asked, what did you spend more on than you expected? Was there anything you didn't expect to spend on? And how did you deal with going over budget? So things I spent more on than I expected, I'd say probably travel costs. I wasn't really expecting to spend that much on the tube. So that was definitely an unexpected cost. Was there anything you didn't expect to spend on? So sort of similar, but I actually didn't really anticipate the society fees. So I do tennis with uni and I didn't anticipate the joining fee for that. And if you join any other societies, I also joined Snow Sports Society. So that was also another fee. But yeah, joining societies can also definitely be an upfront cost that you may not have seen coming. And that is the end of my Ask Me Anything. Thank you so much for all of your brilliant questions. I've honestly really enjoyed doing this. And hopefully you feel more confident going to university. Honestly, you're going to love it. Like, I love my first year of university and I'm sure you will too. I'm sorry if I didn't manage to cover every single question in this AMA, but hopefully I managed to cover a good, decent amount. And I wish you all the best of luck when starting uni. Thank you.